Hi everyone. I want to spend a few minutes talking about ordering your priorities. This is something that I'm dealing with right now in my own life, and I want to share with you the skill that I've learned. This is partly time management. This is also, for me, in pursuit of the most I'm able to do each day, given the constraints of my physical disability and the effects of chronic pain. So, the first item that's worth discussion is managing the big blocks of time that happen each day. So, I'm talking specifically about sleeping, and then for some people it will be school, employment. It could also be hobbies or a social group that you go to just because it gets you out of the house. But when I'm designing each day, I put in the big blocks first. Then the next step of this is what has to happen during the day. So for me personally, about 30 minutes of cleaning is all I can take, and then my body's so beat up that I have to have a break, and that's the end of my major physical activity for at least half the day. So I encourage you to develop a sequence of cleaning and household chores as well as personal hygiene that you're able to revolve around and break into manageable size pieces. Some of these decisions may be made around your availability of a personal support worker or other helps from the community, but it's the next sort of big step that has to happen each day. Now, from there, the next piece of the puzzle is meal times, when you're targeting eating and what you're going to eat, because sometimes it will take time to prepare. For me personally, I cook meals in my slow cooker and then I freeze them ahead of time so that the warming up process is straightforward and easy. And what I mean by this is I tend to find that whether I'm making one meal or the same meal 10 times, it doesn't make that many more dishes. So for me, it makes sense to cook and then freeze ahead of time. It's something I want to suggest you consider. Part of it is that it's a cost management strategy because of being on a fixed income. It's cheaper to cook for myself than to be buying takeaways. And in terms of the nutrition, I'm able to control it if I'm strategic about what I'm choosing to buy for ingredients. Now, the next part of handling time management skills is, for me at least, making sure that I have the communication with other people that I need to be able to deal with the stress of dealing with chronic pain and the physical limitations that I experience. There's a certain amount of interaction with the other people that I need that makes this lifestyle easier for me to manage and live with. So that's a block of time that needs to be set aside each day. Some of you will be interested in employment, even if it's part-time, whatever the constraints of your disability allow or encourage. Some people will have a hobby, whether it's reading, doing word searches, number searches, solving puzzles, or whatever it is. There needs to be something that keeps you amused and engaged with life. It doesn't necessarily have to be employment. I bring up employment because it's a key to self-worth and trying to make life more normal than what it once, or compared to what it once was or could have been. But I don't want to pressure you if it's genuinely not a practical option in your situation. I will say this on the other spectrum is that, especially what I've found, employment when you have a disability or dealing with the effects of chronic pain is best made through your hobby or whatever interests you. You know, even if it's making crafts and then you buy a table at a craft show around Christmas each year, it keeps you engaged and keeps your mind active so you don't begin to struggle with additional mental health challenges because of what's wrong with you. I leave this with you to think about and what's appropriate for you. Now, other things that are a priority are the time that needs to be given to a significant other or a spouse, family, or friends. It's another topic that's very personal, and it's one that I want you to also think about. I'm going to be making a separate video about the challenges of romance caused by a disability, so I'm not going to go into this in depth right now, but I want to ask you to think about what the needs of others are and how you're able to work out the time commitment, and even if you have to negotiate it so you're still able to fulfill it, so that your specific injury or disability doesn't lead to a breakdown in marriage or a breakdown in relationships. It's really important that you maintain these relationships as best as is practical. Also, for time management is going to be the practical necessities of household maintenance, snow shoveling, lawn care, and it's fitting people in your life to do these tasks if you can't do it yourself. You know, I have found that when I had a surgery, there was lots of people willing to help me for a short period of time, and in a practical sense, it was easy for someone to give up the time to help me for a specific task or a few tasks. When this is long term, it takes a bigger base of people to draw from. I encourage you to develop your base of people and maximize the needs that you have so that you're able to focus on your health and living your life. I want to close with this. It's still important that you're part of the community where you live, even when you're in a wheelchair, have a mental health disorder, chronic pain, or even if none of these are affecting you. I encourage you to work out in your mind approximately what it would look like and what it would take in practical terms for you to be able to get out of your house where you're living and go out for 2 hours and then come back home again. Then when someone invites you out, you have a rough idea of what it will take. Or when you want to go out, you have a rough idea of what it will take, so you're not automatically saying no to each invitation that comes along. And I think that planning is worthwhile. You know, I want to encourage you not to box yourself in when it's a physical disability or chronic pain that affects you. It really is important that you live the best quality of life that is possible for you. There still is joy to be had in life, and as you gain the practical skills needed to survive, it does get better and becomes more manageable. I do promise this, but it's going to take a while to build the skill set that's needed to adapt to a different lifestyle after meeting with an accident or having a disability that was brought on unexpectedly. I do enjoy my life, and even though it's a lot of work, I know that you can do it. Thanks for the time that you spent with me today. I really appreciate it. Bye for now.